So Tim Dillon, he has been documenting the downfall of MAGA, the downfall of Trump. But he's also been, he's an interesting character, right? Because he just refuses to go all the way. He refuses to say the liberals are right and leftists are right and Trump's a fucking con man and he scammed everybody and, we should have taken more seriously the criticisms coming from the left. In fact, in this very podcast, he takes a fucking pot shot at Jennifer Welch over the issue of immigration. Meanwhile, Jennifer Welch, she's a fucking superstar. She's on the rise for a reason. Because she's calling out all of the fucking MAGA bullshit and billionaire bullshit and AIPAC bullshit, and you guys still refuse to just hold the fucking L and admit you were wrong. Tim Dillon, when you gave J.D. Vance a hot stone massage on your show, you were fucking wrong. When your boy Joe Rogan gave Trump a hot stone massage on the show, he was fucking wrong. You were wrong. You hopped on board the Trump train and fucking helped lead the country into the depths of fascism. So congratulations. But now, since MAGA is very clearly incredibly unpopular, he's at 36% approval rating and going lower, and he's hiding the Epstein files, and all these problems are piling up. So this is Tim Dillon trying to back out of the room, and he acknowledges the reality here that it is not looking good for the big guy.
Let's look at Trump here, and I do think, unfortunately, this kind of is the end of, I say unfortunately not because I care, truly, but I say
Nah, you were on the team, dog. You might pretend like you're not now. You might retreat to your enlightened centrist bullshit now, but you were on the team. You're not fooling anybody.
Kind of is the end of. I say unfortunately not because I care, truly, but I say unfortunately because it seems to not be doing anything good for anyone. This is the end of the Trump administration. This is the beginning of the lame duck presidency. It's obvious to everyone, even his most ardent supporters show up to the White House like Laura Ingraham, and she's kind of shocked on what the hell's going on. Now we'll start, 3 years of talking about the ballroom. He will trail off. He will get older. He's adorned the White House in gold.
Yeah, what happened? I thought he was going to make America. I thought he was going to release the Epstein files. I thought he was going to end the wars. I thought he was going to make America great again. It turns out he didn't release the Epstein files. He's trying to hide the Epstein files. He's warmongering with way more countries than anybody ever thought, right? He's making everything worse. What happened?
Epstein's going to suck the oxygen out of a lot of this. We're going to talk about that a little later on. Apparently AI, by the way, the only thing I'm sure of about AI, I'm not an expert, is that AI, as soon as we have robots running around this country, they'll all be pedophiles too. There's no one in power that will apparently just not be a pedophile. All these robots.
I love this. So because, Trump is in the Epstein emails and it's very clear that he's guilty, Tim Dillon's reaction is, when AI comes, they're going to be pedophiles too. Everybody's a pedophile. All the politicians are pedophiles. Or not. Barack Obama's not in the Epstein files. Bernie Sanders is not in the Epstein files. Fucking Kamala Harris is not in the Epstein files. See, this is what I mean. When they get caught, when their MAGA bullshit gets caught, right, and it crumbles, he retreats, and Rogan does the same thing. He retreats to enlightened centrist. They're all the same. But they're not. But they're fucking not. And you know they're not. But you're still going to run with that because it's fucking lazy. It's how you deflect criticism. Me? I wasn't even MAGA, bro. I think all politicians are actually really fucked up, bro.
As soon as we have robots running around this country, they'll all be pedophiles too. There's no one in power that will apparently just not be a pedophile. All these robots will be pedophiles. The 100% will deal with pedophile robots. Our first robot president will be a pedophile. I know that. It's the only thing I know. Our first AI robot president will absolutely be a pedophile.
So there you have it. Again, but this is the most you're going to get. This is the most you're going to get from Tim Dillon. People, I love people because they post these things on social media like it's such this massive win. Like, oh, look, Tim Dillon, a MAGA adjacent podcaster, and here he is saying, Trumpism is done, and he's going to be a lame duck now, and it's over. And it's like, yeah, but still, they're still so fucking soft on him. Could you imagine for just a second if all the dirt that we had on Trump vis-a-vis Epstein, if it was about any Democratic politician, how they would talk about this, he would have done the most fire episode of all time, going through all of the connections and mocking ruthlessly, just calling it out for exactly what it is. Meanwhile, the Epstein emails just came out, and we learned Epstein knew everything about Mar-a-Lago's financing, including potential mortgage fraud. And he was leaving this trail of breadcrumbs. Epstein was sending stories to the media, and they were being released slowly but surely. It was a drip, drip, drip of stories. And then, wow, he wound up arrested and then dead with Trump as president. Weird. So Epstein was dropping these little nuggets about, hey, here's how Trump is connected to me, and here's some of the shit he did, right? And then he winds up arrested and dead. And then meanwhile, what we already know is fucking mind-boggling. In the emails, the Epstein emails, they literally talk about the 2016 lawsuit from Katie Johnson. That's the alias, the name of her actual name is different, but she went by Katie Johnson to hide her identity. But there was a lawsuit about how in 1994, Epstein and Trump allegedly raped a 13-year-old. You all saw in 2011, Trump spent hours with an Epstein victim at Epstein's house, and Epstein's whole house was bugged, which means there are tapes. There are actual videos of Trump. So all this out there, and the most you can muster is, yep, he's going to just like start talking about the ballroom all day, and, you know, it's the lame duck presidency. Why is that? Why is that, Tim? It's because he's a fucking con man, and he was caught. He was caught trying to hide the Epstein files. He's caught fucking warmongering all over the place as he pretended to be anti-war when he ran. This whole political project was a fucking farce. And every liberal and every leftist that told you that was 100% correct. And everybody needs to acknowledge that. But words you'll never hear from a conservative are very simply, I was right, I was wrong, and the liberals and the leftists are right. They'll never just say that. But they fucking should. Because they know it. We know it. Everybody actually knows it, but there will never be a moment of reckoning. That maybe these same people who helped add to the hype train for Trump, maybe nobody should fucking trust them on politics anymore, right? Especially if you fancy yourself like an anti-establishment outsider. There is no version of right-wing politics. I hope you understand this. There is no version of right-wing politics that's actually anti-establishment. Right-wing politics, by definition, sucks up to power, bolsters power. It's about hierarchy. It's about domination. It's about structure. It's about order. It's about maintaining the way things currently function. Status quo defense. That's right-wing politics at its core. Every version, every variety, every flavor of right-wing politics has that in there. That, hey, it's the natural order of things. They're supposed to be billionaires. They're just better than you. They're just smarter than you. You need to shut the fuck up and work your 2 or 3 jobs and live paycheck to paycheck, you dumb bitch. This is that mindset. But people convince themselves with Trump, oh no, it's different. No, it's not. No, it's not. If it's different at all, it's that it's worse. It's status quo defense plus making everything objectively worse also. More warmongering, more corruption, more destruction of the social safety net. But anyway, there you have it. Everybody's acknowledging it, at least on some level now. No matter how soft this is, everybody's acknowledging it on some level that the MAGA thing is over. It's done. Trump is washed. And he just doesn't even fucking care anymore, right? Like, that's why. Why do you think he's always talking about the fucking ballroom? He's always talking about the ballroom because Stephen Miller, who's the real president, and Russ Vought, who's the real president, and Marco Rubio, who's the real president, they're the ones who are really controlling policy. And they go, yeah, man, redo the Lincoln bathroom. He did. And then he started bragging, oh, look at what I did. Look at the changes I made. Go play golf 17 times. He did. Go fucking talk about your ballroom. Remember when Trump was asked about how he's feeling about Charlie Kirk or something like that? And he goes, it's a shame. Anyway, did you see my ballroom? That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. Like, insane. Absolutely insane, but everybody's onto it now. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.